Being on the play is generally good. Getting to curve out 2-drop into 3-drop on the play is also frequently very good. Mono red. Okay. I can live with that. They're hyper-incentivized to play a creature this turn, which we have Make Disappear for. Oh, look at that. That's a creature. Alright. No creature for the opponent. We get to play our creature. We don't really have something to do next turn in a way that protects our life total. I could try to play the Teferi here, but I'm pretty confident that I would rather just reduce the amount of damage that I'm taking rather than prioritize getting out of Teferi that's kind of difficult to protect anyway. I sort of like having lands. Or rather, I sort of like having my 5th land here. But I can Memory Deluge no matter what. I think I should only discard the Hallowed Fountain. Yeah, I would have been safe. But I think that the risk of discarding 2 lands and then not hitting my 5th land is a little too much for me to bear. So the opponent did miss their 3rd land drop, which is a nice sign. They have found a 3rd land drop. We're going to flip Fable, which can trade with Etchings. If the opponent's only play is to play a 1-drop here, we're fine with that. Fervent Champion is not a good card on its own. Ugh. Alright, well, that's not ideal. Magma Opus, however, is. Okay, I was debating whether I wanted to not play Teferi in order to hold up Absorb this turn, but now I'm confident that I'm supposed to be playing Teferi because it gives us Magma Opus next turn since we have the untapped land. Maybe we'll be lucky and draw into a 2-drop? No. Well, Gearhulk's pretty nice. If they do manage to kill the Teferi, now I can cycle the Magma Opus and then Gearhulk next turn. More tap lands, you love to see it. Mono red opponent is not having a good time, regardless of my level of interaction. Okay. The Kiki has been stomped. Teferi has been punched. There's a very, very, very low chance that the opponent has a shock here that they're going to shock Teferi with on my upkeep. I think I win this game if I resolve Gearhulk flashing back Opus. I don't think that I need to take any risks at all, and I think cycling the Opus just involves taking no risks. Yeah, I lose a little bit of theoretical value because I can't play Opus and then flash it back with Gearhulk, which I could do if I didn't cycle it and my Teferi lived, but like, I don't need that. I kind of just want the Gearhulk developed anyway. Ooh. I thought I set a stop, but I guess I missed the button. Oh well. I technically could have flashed back Gearhulk, not gotten these taps with Opus, and then held up Absorb. Yeah, but it's kind of hard for the opponent to beat 2 giant creatures with me at 14 life. No matter what else happens. Alright, so let's play Baneslayers. Is Dream Trawler good against mono red? Interesting. We can trim Teferi. We can probably trim Memory Deluge. I could trim Dovin's Veto. Huh. I kind of want to trim Dovin's Veto. I kind of don't want to... I mean, it's cheap. I guess it hits some stuff? I kind of don't want to board into Dream Trawler. It's got lifelink, but it's so expensive and slow. Huh. But I also don't really want Dovin's Veto. Well, I mean, it's a burn deck. There'll be cards I can counter. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, well. We're on the draw, which is going to make this a little tricky, but Magma Opus, Gearhulk, and lands is a hand that has a plan. How much do I get beaten up and regret not having board wipes? Pretty hard. Alright, I'm probably not getting there with this. Okay, opponent does nothing. Does that mean they're gonna stomp me? I do love when my opponents decide that they should stomp on 3 mana instead of play a Bone Crusher. Yeah. We like that. I don't like the part where I'm like still dying next turn and need to top deck an answer, but I like that part. What can I top deck here? Baneslayer Angel. That's what we have to draw. No. Oop. No luck today. So if I uptick Teferi and hit a removal spell, then I can remove Kari Zev. If I downtick Teferi, then I go to 2, which makes Baneslayer Angel not an out. I kind of have to uptick Teferi and hit the removal spell. I don't think there's any way I can win this game without taking that gamble. Which is unfortunate that it has not worked. Presumably they will make a choice here that involves me being dead. Okay. So now, we try being on the play. Which... Alright. Should be a little bit easier. Not being able to interact with that turn 2 was very harsh. Alright, take the play. Keep the very nice hand. I do like absorbs against mono red. Now we just need to hope for not too many 1-drops. They mulliganed. That's a good start. No 1-drop is, in fact, not too many 1-drops. Alright. So if they don't play anything other than a land here and pass, holding up Stomp, I think I just play my Steam Vents tapped, let them stomp me, and then make disappear whatever they play next turn. Save the 2 life on the Steam Vents. But if they try to play something this turn, then we just counter it. Okay. The lack of lands and the abundance of expensive cards is beginning to become a problem. That is a card we will absorb, but if we hit nothing but land drops from now on out, we should be able to win this. That's a start. Alright, we're getting closer. I'm assuming one more land drop for a Teferi gets us to the point where we'll make our 6th land drop off of that. My options here don't really give me much to talk about. If they play something really tiny, I might decide not to absorb it, in the interest of holding the absorb in case we don't hit a land drop. Roiling Vortex, that's worth absorbing. Untap land. Good work, deck. Good work, good work, good work. Alright, the chance is real. 6th land. Alright. Not an interactive spell, but I get to start jamming Gearhulks now. I like those odds. Alright, opponent, this is your turn to resolve something. Well, it's a good thing to resolve. Though I do get to Teferi downtick on it, so...
You're going down.
Let's see what else. Bone Crusher Giant? I can live with that. Baneslayer Angel. Cute. Alright. Chandra, go bye-bye. Do I Snapcaster in Gearhulk? Just to block Bone Crusher and give up on countering something? If it means holding on to Teferi. Yeah, maybe. If that was my plan, was it better to play Baneslayer? Nah, because then they could, like, fry or something. Animating Den means that Teferi dies, but I think I'd actually be okay with that, because it just means that I get to kill one of their permanents with Gearhulk, which is just really strong. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I should have let them choose where to put the 1/1 before this. I always forget that Den, like, trigger is something that I'm responding to. So they do 1 damage to me here that I shouldn't have let them do. I don't think there's any world in which they ever throw it at the Teferi, but should have given them the opportunity to make that mistake. Yeah. Alright, well, we killed the Bone Crusher. He's just fine. Ooh, Magma Opus. Interesting. I think I want to play the Baneslayer, though. If the opponent has Fry, they need a land to actually play a spell, and I want to hold up Gearhulk to absorb Chandra next turn. So I might as well play the Baneslayer this turn. Thorbrand. Scary. Oh, okay. Well, we can just keep Gearhulking then, huh? So you're red and you make red tokens, huh? But you're not red. So this is 5 plus 3 plus 3 is 11 plus 5 is 16? Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that trade. If my opponent had more cards in hand, I might be more scared of this Torbrand, but as it stands, with me at 26 life, I'm not really. I don't really want my opponent to have a Chandra. Okay. Yeah, that is probably pretty game. Hey Chris, which standard deck is the best in your opinion? I'm a couple weeks out of the standard metagame. Alrighty. I like being on the play. I would prefer to have lands. This has lands. Do I keep the Dream Trawler? I can always pitch it to Fable of the Mirrorbreaker, but if we're against red-black, it's a nice card to have. I think that I value the diversity of Dream Trawler over third Fable of the Mirrorbreaker when I'm going to be looting away Fable of the Mirrorbreakers to Fable of the Mirrorbreaker in all likelihood anyway. More Den of the Bugbears. Wow, it's mono red again. Okay. Well, this is a significantly worse hand than we had in either of the previous games that we won, so that's a bad sign. Kumano faces Kakazan. Prowess. Trigger. Very well. Dare I Scorching Dragonfire this Soulscar Mage? Not really. Untap land. Oh, that's going to be a real problem. Alright, we have issues. That is a very, very large issue. Hopefully we don't get Embercleave this turn. That would suck. Oh, that's interesting. Annex loses power when Etchings flips? I really hate that. Oh boy. Okay, so we want to draw Magma Opus this turn so that it can get discarded to Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. Stomping my 2-2 to keep the Etchings alive. Unfortunate. Okay, land is cool. I can't really afford the time to play Dream Trawler here, can I? I could discard Fable, just hold up Justice Strike to kill Etchings, possibly draw into a 2-drop. Or I could play Fable, have that block Etchings, make land drop. I kind of need to find Teferi. I kind of need something bigger than Dream Trawler and probably bigger than Fable. Okay, well, I don't find something bigger than Fable, so Fable it will have to be. I really need Gearhulk to stabilize this, I think. Not even necessarily stabilize it. I think I want to kill the etchings. Alright. Unfortunately, I had no ability to stop any part of that. I guess my choice to Fateful Absence instead of Scorching Dragonfire might have been the most costly part of that game. Bummer. Alright, so what did we cut last time? We cut Teferi, played an Aether Gust, cut Memory Deluges for Baneslayer Angels. Do I still agree with that choice? Yeah, I think so. That's a very low amount of card advantage, which can be scary. It's probably fine. I'm still kind of thinking I should be cutting the Dream Trawler. I don't know. It's not a terrible top deck after a point. Yeah, we're gonna have to mulligan again. Okay, this hand's playable. Do I keep interaction or lands? I probably have to keep interaction, which makes the Gearhulk a little scary. Do I want double red? Do I want double white? I don't have a reason for double white, so I guess I keep double red. There's the possibility on turn 4 we end up wanting to play 2 removal spells. Okay. I do not hate land drops. I do very much enjoy countering Kari Zev. Okay. Alright, deck. Alright. We're working with something here. I think I do have to keep that 2/2 alive, because I actually need the treasure for Gearhulk. So can't block this etchings. Well, there's our 2 things to play this turn. All right. I do think I'm probably willing to Justice Strike the Kumano. If only to have Justice Strike in the yard. Okay, more Gearhulks. And a Fable. Alright, alright. Provided we actually get to attack with this 2/2, which we do. We should be equipped to win this game now. My life total's high enough that my opponent having anything is kind of irrelevant against a 6/6. They had the Reckless Rage that would have made my life really tough. Okay. Is that fine? Am I cool with that? I think I'm cool with that. Not cool with that. I have a Make Disappear? I have a Make Disappear. I should have let them attack first and then Justice Striked it, I think. Then I could have actually gotten the ambush, because I believe... Oh, no, you can't Justice Strike it. There's some effects like this that are worded in ways that do let you Justice Strike it, but that is not one. So I did the correct move. Yay, correct moves. Is it worth shocking here to develop the Gearhulk? Probably. A 5/6 is a pretty good creature size. Annex. Do we allow this? I probably shouldn't. Makes a bunch of tokens. That's kind of annoying. Okay, so no Torrential Gearhulk this turn. But unfortunately, because we didn't win game 1, this time I'm going to have to win a game on the draw, which is going to be tough. So Reckless Rage, huh? So they wipe my board and keep a 2/2. I actually think that I'm willing to take this damage and only leave them with the ability to Reckless Rage my 2/2, and then I'm just going to attack. The reason I think that they attacked here is because if I block, they Reckless Rage on Soulscar Mage. Oh, they can't Reckless Rage killing the 2/2. They have to do it on the Gearhulk. So I get a 2 for 1. Maybe. I kind of just misread that. Maybe that was fine. Oh well. I think taking the damage is also pretty much fine. Okay, opponent. Now I'm representing lethal. So how do you want to try to kill me? I can't Justice Strike the Soulscar Mage ever, which means if they attack, I can play Embercleave. Okay, well, now they attack and play Torbran. So if I counter Torbran, they have to chump with both their creatures, trade with a 2/2, go to 2. Yeah, that's probably fine. That's probably pretty fine. Whee! Okay, now we're on the draw. I could play Farewell. That's probably not great against the deck that has a bunch of lands that are useful, though. I don't like that very much. Is Dream Trawler worse than Teferi? That might actually be the case. Yeah, it's probably the case. Is Teferi worse than Memory Deluge? Probably not. We're going to need to hope for the opponent to have an awkward draw, because I do not feel happy about being on the draw against mono red. Alright, how about a hand with lots of 2-mana spells and some mana and a Baneslayer Angel? Alright. That's pretty good. Okay, that's not the scariest one-drop they could have. Okay! Messed up here. I should have played the Hallowed Fountain on turn 1, now that I knew I was going to need double white. Why are you playing Runaway Steamkin in your list? That's weird. It's very good here, but it's weird. They don't really have card draw. Do I hold up Absorb or do I play Fable? Oh. That's a tough choice. I don't have a super good way to use my mana next turn. If they kill this 2/2, hopefully they have to be inconvenienced on their curve out to do so. I don't think they're going to be, though. Yeah. Why they have Reckless Rage in their deck, I don't know, but that's painful. I need another 2-drop here. I think I just have to discard the maximum number of cards to find another 2-drop. I fail to find another 2-drop. Okay. Land, Animate, Den. Should I Fatefully Absent the Den? Prevents as much damage as the runaway Steamkin, but denies them having a 1/1 next turn. Fable's going to flip. I'm going to have 2 blockers. If I go to 6... No, take 6, go to 4. Could go to 3 if they have a Reckless Rage. They can't Reckless Rage, I don't have a target. Alright, yeah, I think I hit the Den here. Alright. I would really have preferred them to have Embercleave the last turn. Hopefully they do not Embercleave this turn. There's a chance, there's a chance, there's a chance, there's a chance, there's a chance. I guess even if they Embercleave, Baneslayer has first strike. So I just trade with the Steamkin? That's a good sign. That's an extremely good sign. Don't double Reckless Rage my Baneslayer. Don't have 3 Reckless Rages in your deck post-board, please. Oh, they only need 1. Oh, yeah, because of Soulscar Mage. Okay, that makes Reckless Rage make a little more sense, I suppose. Ah, yeah, I forgot about that. Alright. Well, I need another Baneslayer now. Teferi, downtick. Soulscar Mage is good enough. Fable, block, good enough. Teferi, uptick, find removal spell for Steamkin. Hope they target the wrong thing. I guess the Fanatical Firebrand with the Soulscar Mage actually meant Embercleave beat me too. So I was just really unfavored from there. Yeah. Tough life. Yeah, I agree that Reckless Rage is a good card for them to have. I just don't actually think they should have it against me post-board. It takes a very, very specific combination of effects for it to be good against me, right? But it's possible they just don't have aggressive options they can bring in instead, if they just don't have more threats in their sideboard. Which would be a weird way to build mono red, but not necessarily wrong. It's more about what kind of ways you want to be able to use your sideboard for other matchups. Alright. We will take the play. Am I willing to keep this hand that doesn't do anything? And then just draw into things? I'm willing to do that a lot more than mulligan. I do need to draw things, though. The good news is this is a good hand against most Hall of the Storm Giant decks. I mean, Torrential Gearhulk is not a card that's good when your graveyard is empty, necessarily. Wow, main deck Shark Typhoons. Okay. We are playing a true control mirror. That's a good sign. Regardless of what happens in game 1, I feel hyper-favored in any control mirror post-board. I don't like Castle Ardenvale, though. That's going to make my life complicated. Not if I find a Magma Opus, though. Okay, Fateful Absence isn't much of anything. My opponent's playing a control list that's like hyper mainboarded for the control mirror game 1? I don't know. Shark Typhoon. I couldn't justify it, but more power to you, opponent. Alright, no 4-drops. We got time. We got time. But now is where time begins running out, because we have not drawn a single Magma Opus, and just jamming a Gearhulk into nothing is not actually good. And if my opponent just sits here activating Castle Ardenvale, my life gets kind of awkward. Not really interested in them having a Wandering Emperor. I'm also not really interested in them having a Teferi, but at least I can Fatefully Absent the Teferi. Do I Justice Strike this 1/1? Probably not. Oh, these are not good draws. Our opponent missed a land drop, which is interesting. Wandering Emperor. Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, I have to give my opponent an opening to play Teferi. If it's not exactly Teferi, then life is okay. If it is exactly Teferi, and they make the mistake of doing something other than down-ticking... Okay. So they're trying to make their land drop. I have a lot of ways to effectively pressure this Teferi, especially if they let me untap, but I kind of feel like they're going to Fatefully Absent my Torrential Gearhulk here on their turn. Which I then Fatefully Absent their Teferi, which isn't, like, good for me. But it's fine. Alright, Fable of the Mirror Breaker is a good draw. It's actually a very good draw. Another Teferi will definitely be a problem. Lotus Field. Yeah, that will... Well... Discontinuity, huh? Okay, well, I would like to crack my clue in response to discontinuity. Alright, Scorching Dragonfire. Okay, a pile of absorbs. That's real cards. We get rid of Justice Strike and turn them into real cards. Oh, look at all these real cards. Okay, alright. Now we're talking. Yeah, I think we're good to just pass here. I don't really need to do anything else. I could Torrential Gearhulk to counter this Memory Deluge. Not being able to hold up Absorb after that's a bit of an issue. But letting them resolve Memory Deluge also kind of sucks. Alright. I think we're doing that. Oh. I already used it. Okay. Well, I guess now we're just putting a Gearhulk into play. This was pretty bad. I only had one Make Disappear? I guess I did. I guess I flashed back the Make Disappear, and I thought that was me casting a second Make Disappear, is what happened. I wonder if that actually might still have been correct, though, to do that while that was tapped out. Yeah. It looks like it actually wound up being correct. In an interesting way. Because now I get to Sudden Dragon, or Scorching Dragonfire the Teferi. And I can Teferi with Absorb backup. Yeah, we bait out a Dovin's Veto. They kind of shouldn't have done that, because the Teferi is still getting pressured by the Goblin Shaman. March of Otherworldly Light for 0, huh? Okay, so if they have a counterspell now, it's Dovin's Veto. So I might as well absorb it. Because Dovin's Veto otherwise could counter the Teferi. Now, do I shock and jam the Teferi into a possible Dovin's Veto? Do we think that they would have Dovin's Veto to protect their Teferi? The earlier Dovin's Veto could be only because they had a second Dovin's Veto. Might have been the only reason they were willing to jam it that aggressively. I think I should jam the Teferi. Alright. You love to see the clue token get cracked. We have a blocker for Hall of the Storm Giants. Oh, we're going to redraw Gearhulk? That's cool. Strict Proctor. That makes my Gearhulk more expensive. Yeah, opponent's got a bunch of mana. Are they going to pass? They pass instead of jamming the Memory Deluge instantly, which is cool. I should probably get rid of this Strict Proctor, so that I don't have to spend a bunch of mana protecting my Torrential Gearhulks. They do know about the Torrential Gearhulk, though. Which means they probably won't try to Memory Deluge here. Or they do. How many things do I have? Just the one? Okay. Well, that works. So I don't actually have another counterspell in the yard for this Torrential Gearhulk, but if they do something like animate Hall of the Storm Giants, I can make a copy of Torrential Gearhulk and try to kill the Hall of the Storm Giants, which would be cool. I could take this damage if they don't go at Teferi. They go at face. So Shark Typhoon is technically a threat that me being at 11 could be a problem against, because they can actually make a Shark Typhoon token for 11 in the future. Me making a copy of Gearhulk now and blowing up the Hall means that I can't Memory Deluge, but I want to blow up the Hall no matter what. I could just chump block the Hall, I suppose. Do they truly have enough mana that I care about killing this Hall? I guess. Discontinuity. That will mean that I'm not going to lose this Torrential Gearhulk token until my end step. So I am currently representing lethal? Not quite. What's Memory Deluge? They can't actually interact with this because they need to be able to cast Larden Veil in order to stop me from killing them here. Ooh, hey, Magma Opus, that sounds great. Also, Dovin's Veto sounds great. Okay, let's see. How about we kill our opponent here? Oh, yeah, no, that leaves you dead on board, opponent.
Hurry.
Yeah, okay. Let's see. Let's see. So we want Shark Typhoons, we want Mystical Disputes, we don't want Dream Trawler. I don't really want Justice Strikes too badly. I don't really want Scorching Dragonfire. I want to trim Gearhulks and Opuses. And then I need 2 more cuts. What are 2 more cuts? I could cut Fable of the Mirrorbreaker on the draw. I could just cut more Gearhulks and Opuses. That's probably the correct thing to do. Yeah, okay. I'm going to want a hand with more lands than this, I think. Well, I don't want to go to 5. So I guess we're not taking a hand with more lands than that. Okay. Well, it's a very good thing we won game 1. Okay. There's a game afoot. Opponent's debating whether they cycle Shark Typhoon for 1, or rather 0. They do, which implies they are low on lands. No. Alright, opponent has 1 Lotus Field in play. Good work, deck. Alright. Don't love the shock. Cycle Shark Typhoon, trying to make a land drop. Hope the opponent doesn't play something in response. Mystical Dispute is excellent. Awesome. We miss our land drop. Not excellent. I'm curious. So, I have no idea what the opponent could have that's worth shock. Okay, just counter spells were what they were holding up. Okay. Alright, we kind of have to cycle Magma Opus. Still missing the land drop. Alright. We find ourselves in a distinct predicament. Cast Larden Veil is going to be brutal here. Sphinx's Revelation for 2? Do I care? I mean, I kind of care. But do I care a lot? I don't know. I probably don't care enough to counter this, to be entirely honest. I think that might be a mistake. Alright. I mean, if the opponent doesn't have anything threatening, this is still sort of okay. They're unwilling to activate Arden Veil, even though they have every reason to. Yeah, alright. 9 mana to 3. Would love to draw some lands. Okay, can't attack because Strict Proctor flies. Opponent still doesn't have any things to do on my turn, which is a good sign. Really would love to draw some lands. Okay. Good work, deck. I can't Gearhulk because of Strict Proctor. Do I need to Fatefully Absent the Strict Proctor and give my opponent a card draw? I can't really afford to do that. I can't really afford to not do that. This is awful. Trouble is, they have enough mana to start activating Castle Ardenvale while still holding up interaction for my Gearhulk. Memory Deluge, huh? I could absorb that. Could Gearhulk in response, which probably loses. If I have one more mana, I can start Gearhulking on their turn and then on my turn. It's very important to tempo your opponent out in control mirrors like this, where they're getting so ahead of you on mana, and my complete inability to have done any tempo at all this game is deeply concerning. I really would love to, like, have a Shark Typhoon in my hand. Alright, I like this. So we get to absorb the Teferi, which hopefully baits them to fight a counterspell war over this. And now they only have up a Lotus Field, which could only be holding up Mystical Dispute. So if we draw a Mystical Dispute, I can resolve a Teferi. We don't. Cool. Bummer. Okay. I don't get much in the way of the ability to play around a Mystical Dispute other than making them use up the Mystical Dispute. Oh, alright. I do love my opponent not having Mystical Dispute, that's cool. Yeah, okay. Fatefully Absence a lot better for me than that. So now we kind of need to draw Absorb.
Let's skip to the good part.
No. But it's a land drop. Okay, so if they Teferi here, that's gonna hurt. Strict Proctor. That also hurts. But not as much as something that's actually painful. So they didn't have Mystical Dispute, and they've only drawn one card. But I can't play Torrential Gearhulk anyway. There's the Absorb. Okay. Yeah, there's land. Alright. So this time around they could Dovin's Veto or absorb my Teferi. But either of that means that they're not playing Memory Deluge this turn. Okay. Nothing's fascinating. So we're going to have to absorb the Memory Deluge. I could down-tick Teferi on the Strict Proctor and then not have anything else. I think I would prefer to uptick Teferi. I have the 1/1 to block Hall if they attempt to use that to kill Teferi. I would like you to not resolve an expensive Memory Deluge, opponent. They top deck? Okay. What's the pause there, then? If it wasn't them having Mystical Dispute. So it's 8 mana to Torrential Gearhulk for a Magma Opus right now.
This is hard.
Okay. Well, I have 8 mana. Alright, opponent, I'm tapped out. What do you want to do? Nothing. Okay. So that implies pretty strongly to me that they probably have discontinuities. Wandering Emperor.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa.
Alright, I think this is the part where I just have to go shields down
May your blades strike true.
and be willing to lose to any counterspell that isn't discontinuity. That's kind of a mistake. They should have let me enter the battlefield and cast something so that it was out of my graveyard, and then Jwari Disruption the thing that was out of my graveyard. So now we have the Torrential Gearhulk in play, and we still have the Magma Opus in yard.
Guards, to me.
They can't really attack. Ooh, more Magma Opuses. Alright, that's cool. So we can't really Torrential Gearhulk swing into the hall. They still have 4 mana left up afterwards. I could play Teferi. That might be a better way to bait a counterspell than playing the Gearhulk here. I could also just Magma Opus on their end of turn? Maybe Magma Opusing on their end of turn is actually, like, the best way to get a counterspell out of their hand. Except there's a strong possibility they might have multiple Jwari Disruptions from the way that they played this game as though they didn't have any interaction at all. Alright, we'll go ahead and Teferi then. We're still holding up Fateful Absence, we're playing through Mystical Dispute, we're playing through Jwari Disruption. I think I'd prefer to play Magma Opus. Oh, okay, they just actually have a counterspell. That works. They make you some tokens, but that's part of what Gearhulk is here to handle. They get to start putting counters on Strict Proctor, which I assume I'm probably going to Fateful Absence. We've actually somehow ran them out of cards, which is shocking. I guess they've only drawn 1 Memory Deluge? I might have to chump block Hall with the 1/1 here. I don't want to take this much damage, but I'm going to take that much damage on a future turn anyway. Alright, I think this is acceptable. The Fateful Absence is really hard to use when they're this low on resources.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Big Shark Typhoon, but only for 6, not for enough to trade with Hall. Still, that's pretty interesting, huh? Okay, very well, opponent. Pass the turn. You gonna activate Castle Ardenvale? You brave enough for that? Alright. I'm trying to figure out if I'm supposed to kill this Strict Proctor. I think that it's got to be better to kill the Wandering Emperor in a 2/2. I wonder if I should have killed 2 1/1s, actually. That might have been the case. Alright. Well, that puts us in a decent spot. I got multiple blockers for Hull the Storm Giant. So if they swing with it, I just triple block. Opponent has a lot of mana. My Make Disappear and my Mystical Dispute are probably not likely to be very good. Oh, okay. Whee! I'm a little surprised we won that. Yeah, I couldn't hardcast the Shark Typhoon there, because if they had a counterspell, that was really brutal, and with them having exactly 5 mana left up, there was a really strong chance they were going to go for the Castle Ardenvale line if they felt like they didn't have resources in hand, which meant there was a very strong chance I was going to get to Gearhulk at the end of turn, which is what happened. Whee! Control mirrors are so much fun. I love having Gearhulk. Even if you miss your land drops forever, eventually, if they don't kill you, it just punishes them for tapping out. And even players sitting around on, 12 mana eventually tap out? You're literally the only one who thinks that. In the sense of control mirrors being exciting? I don't know. I think plenty of people think control mirrors are exciting. They're definitely my favorite kind of Magic to play. So many decisions. Really love Opus playing it even without Anata. Yeah, actually, to be fair, I think we played Magma Opus. Oh, we were playing Hinata originally in this list. We just cut it because the Hinata part wasn't good enough. Regretfully. Alright. Let's continue. Alright, we will take the play again. I do like having won the dice roll in every single game. I wish that we hadn't lost one where I won the dice roll, but I do like winning the dice roll every time. It does make it easier to play Magic. Alright, let's see. What did I keep? I kept a hand because I had lands and a 2-drop, but... So we have Counterspell, Deluge, Gearhulk. So we don't get to do very much after the first. Wow! Is Mono Red just... Like, what's up with that? They were playing our third Mono Red match of the day. Is it like the budget deck that a lot of limited players have gone to? Mono faces Kakazan, huh? I kind of just have to counter that, I think. In the name of tempo. Well, I don't have anything playable, so this is looking pretty bad. Yeah, maybe the Make Disappear line was pretty bad. Justice Strike. I do deeply wish you were Scorching Dragonfire right now. Okay, so if they Ember Cleave me, I have to Justice Strike the Annex. If they don't, I can Memory Deluge to Teferi. Up, down tick on Annex. That's not exciting. Karizev. Okay. So they're not going to Ember Cleave me. I literally can't Justice Strike anything other than the Annex, but the Annex is the thing that I'm incentivized to Teferi downtick on. That bites. I think I have to Justice Strike this Annex and just hope I hit untap lands for the next 2 turns naturally. Because I think I'm going to play Teferi and downtick on Karizev if I can. They have a Castle Embereth with 2 Annex tokens. This is brutal. Bone Crusher face. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have a way I can win this. That's definitely not it. Okay, time to bluff Settle the Wreckage. Opponent is not willing to believe that I have settled the wreckage. Alright, once again, losing game 1, not good. Okay, so we bring in Baneslayers, bring in Aether Gust, cut Memory Deluges, cut Dream Trawler. I can't help but feel like Shark Typhoon has some potential to be the correct play. I wonder if... I really can't imagine Farewell is correct. I guess it's not that bad against Ramanop Ruins, it's only specifically bad against Den of the Bugbear. It's too expensive. Too expensive. Whoa, what can you get? Yeah. What? Whoa, not the microphone, kitty. Alright, we'll take the play. Alright, deck. If one of these wasn't a check land, this hand would be pretty solid. But now we're kind of hoping, crossing our fingers. Okay. That's definitely a reasonable draw. That is definitely the draw we wanted. So we're going to Aether Gust this Karizev. And we hope we draw a land that is untapped and painless. We hold up Justice Strike and cycle Magma Opus. Karizev on top. That's pretty interesting. Oh, opponent's good at magic. They hard cast the Bone Crusher without casting Stomp. How am I supposed to beat an opponent who's good at magic? Oh dear. Alright, gotta kill the Bone Crusher. Scarmage. Okay, well... kinda have to hope they don't have Reckless Rage. I can't really beat that. Which I suppose is turning me around on the idea of the card at all. Castle Embreth. Punch Etchings. Oh, that was a mistake. Well, not necessarily a mistake. I forgot that doesn't pump toughness, so I could have hit the Soul Scar Mage after it resolved. Which I think I was supposed to do. It puts me at 1 lower life total, but means that Reckless Rage isn't an immediate answer to Baneslayer Angel. Which I think was just worthwhile for me. Yeah, that was a big mistake. Alright, so I want to block the Ragavan token. This way I still kill it before first strike. I guess I could have blocked a 1/1 token. Maybe that was better? Because I would still be going up to 7. Yeah, it was better to block a 1/1 token. I still have to Reckless... Oh, it's just Stomp? Oh. Oh, okay. Neat. And now I actually have Dovin's Veto up. Alright, well, my block got maximum punished, but I haven't lost instantly. I'm taking 2, 4, 7. So I'm going to have to chump the monkey. Yeah, I actually got very, very, very punished for the way that I blocked. Oh, but not if they're not activating Castle Embereth. Cool. Cool! Let's see. So if I attack with a 2/2, have enough mana to cast both of these, play the other Baneslayer Angel holding up Dovin's Veto. Is there any way to kill me with Castle Embereth activation? I don't think so. So I think I'm just okay with that. I'm glad I got bailed out. Okay. They should attack with everything, I think? Let's see. So I could block with one Baneslayer and go to 7, or block with both Baneslayers and go to 12, but lose the larger Baneslayer. Huh. I think I'd rather block with both and gain additional life? Okay, Torrential Gearhulk, you are very good. I have a treasure, but that doesn't come from a Magma Opus. What do I have? Oh, it does. Also, I have an Aether Gust. That's interesting. Okay. Oh, alright, alright. We got a game of Magic. Reflection can copy Baneslayer to make 5/5s. Could Aether Gust the Hazoret. I don't think I want to. So let's see. Everybody attacks. I don't think I like the idea of everybody attacking. How do I play around Embercleave? Do I even bother? I think I just Magma Opus now. Tap down the Hazoret. Kill Karizev in a 1/1. It's very tempting to kill Soulscar Mage, but I also kind of have to overkill the Soulscar Mage if that's what I want to do. I should probably just overkill the Soulscar Mage. I think that's a bigger deal than the Karizev token right now. Alright. Should win if Reflection actually untaps. Cool, 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 cool. If I had one more mana, I might play Teferi downtick on the Hazoret holding up Absorb. Wait, do I just have an Absorb? I have an Aether Gust. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, I could also just hold up Dovin's Veto, Absorb, and Aether Gust the Hazoret. That's probably better. Okay, well, let's attack with Baneslayer then, because the opponent's not going to attack and I'd like to gain some life. Converting a Ramunap Ruins into 2 damage. You'll love to see it. Yeah, okay. Now we concede to the Kiki Jiki. Yay! Oh, I did not play that super well, but the top decks are good. Hazoret makes me want Farewell even more. Okay. I'm not entirely convinced this is a good idea, but it is an idea I'm willing to do. Let's go lower. We see more kitty. No, you're just hiding. Okay. This is a hand, and our mana's functional. That's a start. We even have Opus Gearhulk? Alright, alright, alright. Alright. Real chances. Yeah. Wish I had this hand in game 1. Jeez. Okay. Maybe the opponent can't play anything this turn, and then I get to cycle Opus. Falconwrath Pit Fighter, the very large. Okay. The Kumanas are so big next turn. I kinda can't afford to cycle this Opus, huh? Oh, jeez. Opponent. Opponent, calm down. Hi. Yeah, this is pretty tough. How much are we taking here on board? 6, 8? Ooh, alright. Opponent not going all out is nice. Don't think I can accept making the treasure here. I think I gotta trade. Castle Embereth able to be activated is 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. I need them to like draw an Embercleave and want an Embercleave rather than Castle Embereth. If they don't choose to kill me, there's definitely a chance here. Oh, that's so inefficient, but it's still good enough because I have no interaction. Ugh. I can't believe I played mono red 3 times. Well, that is not the metagame read I was expecting. I wonder if that's actually because I started playing late. If people who started playing late decided they were going to play mono red. to be able to get things done in enough time.